New this year. It was supposed to be new last year, but it rained out. But we have the Knights. Tom Reffner is going to present the trophy. The Blue Knights present the Knight Trophy.
It just suits my style. The track suits my setups. I love the racetrack and the people around it.
We got a package that's going to platform there pretty well. Really like to get there Wednesday night because it's the only time you get to practice at night when we race at night on Saturday. So really want to get there for that, and then just kind of watch the track Thursday and Friday as it changes through the rubbers building up, and be ready Saturday morning with that kind of agenda to.
Thanks for joining us on another edition of Midwest Tour Talk here on MidwestTour.tv. I'm Dean Strom. He is Jim Trado. And Jim, we have got a race weekend coming up here in short order. The Oktoberfest race weekend, it is big, not only here in the state of Wisconsin, not only in the upper Midwest, but it is in the United States of America, one of the biggest race weekends that you are going to have. You're going to catch all the action here on MidwestTour.tv. But right now, the preparations are underway.
Yeah, the race itself happens on Sunday to decide the ARCA Midwest Tour champion, but that's a Sunday race. There are how many divisions?
17.
17 divisions, 600 laps of feature racing. So we have a lot of coverage for you on MidwestTour.tv, but a lot of preparation goes into that, as you mentioned, Dean. It's the 53rd annual Oktoberfest weekend. It is a happening. It's a mecca for short track racers from around the country. Not only the racers, but the fans are going to be rolling in short order. And with us right now, we have one of the promoters that's hands-on making this happen. Chuck Deary's already there. And Greg McCarnes is joining us now on Midwest Tour Talk because, Greg, you've got a lot of things going on. You're on the work truck today. What's going on today in preparations for the big weekend?
Today is campground preparation day, so Austin Wells and I have been out since this morning spraying the campground, getting ready for about 1,800 campers to open up Camper Village on Monday at noon.
That's a lot. I mean, 1,800 spots, and believe me, it's a happening. It's a lot of fun. A lot of friends want to stay in the same area, but it's really neat to just walk around and enjoy it. That's part of the allure, I think, of seeing people from all over, all different divisions. We mentioned divisions, Greg. This used to be a small event. Then it got bigger, and now it's massive. 17 divisions is a whole lot of race cars coming and going and keeping that calendar stocked full. OctoberRaceWeekend.com is where you can find the daily schedule, and it's a full sheet of paper every day. I'm telling you, there's a lot going on for the fans to enjoy.
Yeah, it's grown. I remember wearing the Oktoberfest shirt to second grade show and tell in 1987 and what that event was then, and being in George Dabrowski's camper, watching it snow. And back, Austin and I were talking today, it used to be the campers just showed up and you kind of parked wherever and went and the adults drank beer and the kids rode their bikes. And it's still the same. It's just a little more organized. Now, it's amazing what this has grown into, even since I was the maintenance kid here in the mid-'90s. It's amazing to watch this event continue to grow.
Greg, how many different directions will you be pulled when we drop that first green flag on Thursday here of Oktoberfest weekend?
It depends. Obviously we're going to have perfect weather. And so when the weather cooperates like it's going to this year, hopefully, it's not so bad, but you just never know. It's about putting out little fires here and there. And so you just make sure that you have all your ducks in a row by the time Camper Village opens and by the time teams are showing up on Saturday for an open practice. So there's a lot of logistics involved behind the scenes, whether it's parking haulers overnight or parking haulers and moving them or getting the campers in the right spot, making sure that there's enough fan parking, everything from ordering. We almost forgot to order the vodka for the Bloody Mary bar. It turns out Green Bay is playing in London, so it's an 8:30 start. We're going to have that on the Jumbotron, and it's shaping up to be a great Oktoberfest race weekend.
Greg, there are divisions we talked about, 17 different divisions. Some teams are going to be traveling just, say, like for the Midwest Dash. Their race day is Saturday. But in reality, the fans have really gotten a treat because each and every day of the Oktoberfest race weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the super late models are on the racetrack. And that's got to be a huge appeal, not only for our viewers, but that's something you guys really, I think, have built and said, hey, if you want to race and get ready for Sunday, there's opportunities. But for the fans, man, that's exciting knowing there's different kinds of races for the supers every night.
Yeah, it's fun. Wednesday, there's a practice. and the campground. It's just fun watching everyone walk from the campground when they hear the cars on the track. There's that excitement level, and people are catching up and so on. And then you go right into Thursday. We're crowning champions every night. Our lacrosse weekly division, there's 1 point between Mike Carlson and Brent Kirshner right now. That's a great battle. New this year, it was supposed to be new last year, but it rained out. But we have the Knights. Tom Reffner is going to present the trophy. The Blue Knights present the Knight Trophy following that super late model race on Thursday. Plus, we have the Futures on Thursday night. Double features for the lacrosse late models, plus all the quarter mile divisions, the double O race. It's just every day, night just presents something different. Whether it's what bands in the exhibition hall afterwards, the pet costume parade, the Sunday morning pancake breakfast. It's just every day there's something different to look forward to, but every day there's just a ton of racing and a ton of fun.
Greg, we appreciate you spending a few minutes with us. We're going to let you get back to striping those campgrounds. That's important work that you're doing. We're looking forward to Oktoberfest race weekend, and the tradition is going to roll on here October 6, 7, 8, and 9. We'll see you out there. Good luck. Have fun.
Well, Chuck and I are just proud to carry on what our parents started so many years ago. So back in the 80s, and what Larry Weir started back in 1970. So just an honor to carry on the tradition here in the Midwest.
That's Greg McCarnes. He is helping put on Oktoberfest race weekend. As we said, October 6, 7, 8, and 9. 17 divisions of racing, Jim. You said it, over 600 laps of feature action. We'd love to have you there because it is a great time. Greg alluded to some of all the traditions, the pet contest, the pumpkin carving, the bands each night, the campfires. It's so many great traditions. It's so many great friendships are made and renewed at Oktoberfest race weekend. We'd love to have you there. Be a part of the history. If you can't, you can catch all the action right here on MidwestTour.tv starting Thursday night when we go qualifying, or I should say Thursday afternoon when we go qualifying. You can tune into MidwestTour.tv and catch all the on-track action.
Dean, why don't we go through some of the schedules? We're just going to give you the touch points as we go through this because there's a lot to cover. Oktoberfestraceweekend.com is the website for the event. ARCA Midwest Tour is the premier event weekend season championship, but there's a lot of racing going on starting on Wednesday practice, but let's get into Thursday and Friday.
And we should say it's Oktoberfest with a K. Okay.
Yes.
Oktoberfestraceweekend.com. Jim said it. That's the website where you want to catch all these schedules. But on Thursday, when we start with on-track activity, Thursday morning at 9:30, the track is going to open for practice. We're going to go qualifying at 2:45 on Thursday. Again, that's when you can tune in to MidwestTour.tv if you're at home. Thursday is going to be highlighted by, Greg alluded to it, the Futures and the Knights of Oktoberfest. The Futures race is mainly for younger super late model drivers. The Knights race, the Knights of Oktoberfest, is mainly for drivers over 30, a little bit more experienced drivers, but they're going to headline on Thursday. Friday, we come back again, 9:30 in the morning with open practice, qualifying at 3:05. Again, that's when you can tune in on MidwestTour.tv. And Friday is highlighted by Jim, one of my favorite races of Oktoberfest race weekend. It's the Trickle 99. It's an ode, a tip of the cap to the winningest short track driver in America, Dick Trickle. 99 laps, but it's going to be split up into three 33-lap segments. We're going to invert between the first and the second features. You got to charge to the front. The guy with the lowest total combined finishing positions in those three is going to be the overall champion, and they're going to get a cheese wedge with a number 99 on it. It is a classic event.
And Dick Trickle was there to award that cheese set a couple years back, and I want to tell you that is an exciting event on Friday. That's the night I think everybody just locks in saying, I've got what I need for the weekend. But Saturday is another full event day. I mentioned the Midwest Dash as part of the program. Saturday's schedule at Oktoberfest. That's Saturday, October 8th. Practice begins at 9:30 in the morning, and they rotate through practices, through divisions, all the way up until we qualify at 225. The divisions on Saturday alone are the Big 8 late models deciding their championship. The ARCA Midwest Tour is on track for their qualifying session. Again, 225 is when we start qualifying these divisions, so it's huge to know that 225 in the afternoon, you're going to see some qualifying, and it'll be Big 8s, I think, first, followed by the ARCA Midwest Tour Super Late Models, Mid-American Stock Car Series, Midwest Trucks, and Midwest Dash. All of those divisions, minus the Midwest Tour, are racing Saturday night.
The Big Eight late models headline on Saturday night.
Huge.
Hopefully you've seen the Big Eight late models here on MidwestTour.tv. They put on a great show. Going to determine a champion in the Big Eight late model series.
So we have all that going on throughout the weekend, but Sunday, the big day, there's more than just the big race. We've got a lot of things going on, the pumpkin coloring contest. I mean, there's a great schedule, but in reality, qualifying and what gets down to business, qualifying and practice starts at 10 a.m. on Sunday, October 9th.
Yeah, and the on-track autograph session is a big deal on Sunday. All the cars that remain on Sunday at Oktoberfest race weekend, they get pushed out onto the front straightaway. The fans come down. It is a really, really cool deal. The last chance races on Sunday are huge because it's going to set the field, the final starting positions for the 200-lap finale.
And if you like watching the Big Eight Late Model Series, you've also seen some other coverage of other series with the ARCA Midwest Tour on MidwestTour.tv, including the Midwest Truck Series, including the 602LL Late Models we saw at Madison. We saw them at the Dells. Well, guess what? The Midwest Truck Series and the 602LL Late Models both run 602 crate engines. So now there's a Oktoberfest race on Sunday as part of the activities before roll them off for the big Oktoberfest 200 on Sunday afternoon to determine the ARCA Midwest Tour champion for this year.
Again, we'd love to see you at Oktoberfest. Stop by, say hi. We'll be there. It's a great time. Sit around the campfire a little bit, maybe on Friday night and Saturday night. But when we get down to business on Sunday, it is determine a champion for the ARCA Midwest Tour, determine who is going to be crowned the overall Oktoberfest champion. The winner of that 200 gets the title of Oktoberfest champion. Again, if you can't be there in person, join us on MidwestTour.tv. We'll have all the on-track action all 4 days.
And we're now joined by an Oktoberfest 200 champion, a two-time ARCA Midwest Tour champion, joining us via this show on Midwest Tour Talk to talk about what he's preparing for, capturing his 5th Oktoberfest title. Let's welcome in Dan Fredrickson. Dan, welcome to Midwest Tour Talk. How are you tonight?
I'm great. Glad to be here. Thank you, guys.
What's going on in the shop? How prepared are you for the big races at La Crosse Fairground Speedway?
A lot of people don't know, but I sold my super late model early summer. So we've been working just a little bit here and there on getting a new one done. And we'll finally have it done for Oktoberfest weekend. So I'm pretty excited about it. It's a nice car. Hopefully it works well. So we've got plenty of work to do between now and then, but we'll have it done.
You don't run full-time with the ARCA Midwest Tour, as Jim said, a former champion, but these days you've got other racing interests that are really appear to be working out pretty well with your family. But there's something about Oktoberfest. There's something about the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway, a 3-time Trickle 99 champion, a 4-time Oktoberfest 200 champion. What is it about this event and about that track that just brings out the best in Dan Fredrickson?
It just suits my style. The track suits my setups. I love the racetrack and the people around it. It just, everything about it, the bumps and the personality or the characteristics of the racetrack fit me. That's all I really can say. It suits me. I enjoy doing it, and that's probably a lot of why I have fun doing it. I actually raced very little this year, but something I always wanted to do was get a La Crosse style late model that they race there weekly. And we got that done end of last year. So I did run down there a few times this summer and run with them guys weekly and had a lot of fun doing that.
I want to know more about how good you are at La Crosse Fairground Speedway. I know you probably can count on two hands the races you should have won there. When it comes to the Oktoberfest 200, I'm looking at your stats. You rolled out in 2001. First time you were ever there, you started 4th and finished 5th. That's a long time ago. 17 races you've raced here. Yes, you've won your share, but you finished 2nd. 1, 2, 3, 4 times. 3rd another time. You've had fast times there. I mean, you were ate up with this, but the performance has always been there, Dan. What makes it so unique for you, no matter what your season's been like or how many races you've run, that you just accelerate and are one of the drivers to watch as soon as you show up at La Crosse?
Yeah, I think the flat corners, kind of like the Milwaukee Mile. I mean, it's just big, broad, flat corners. And just whether it's my driving or my setups or both, it just seems to work well there. I love that racetrack. I wish I lived a little closer. I'd race there every week, but, it's kind of interesting. I don't know if you guys have talked about this yet, but so this will be a big year for La Crosse Speedway. Um, you know, Chuck Deary's done an awesome job promoting that racetrack. And here's a fun fact: he's done it for 35 years, and he's not going to do it for 36. He's going to retire after this Oktoberfest weekend. So that's the end of a big era for that area of racing. And you know, I hope Chuck. I wish him the best in whatever he decides to do. But you know, I think a lot of us will miss him. I know I will. I've enjoyed racing for him, being around, and I think he's done a good job there.
He has indeed done a great job, and Oktoberfest has grown so much under his guidance and his leadership. Dan, let's take a step back for a minute. You said you didn't race much in 2022, but you've still been busy. You've been keeping an eye on an ARCA Midwest Tour Rookie of the Year contender by the name of Tristan Swanson. How has that been for you? I know the last time that we were on MidwestTour.tv, Tristan was running at the Dells, and you were in the pits, just kind of adding some guidance. How's that transition been for you?
Oh, good. You know, that's really the only race I helped him, and we weren't even planning on doing. We were just going to hang out a little bit, and they let me help him out a little bit, and I think I pointed him in some good direction there. But he's a really good kid. I see a lot of him. I don't know if you know that or not, but he works for me full time, and he's dating my daughter, so we see each other a lot. And he's a good guy. He is a good kid, really. And you know, I wish I had more time to help him. He is a really good driver, and they're doing the best they can. They're a good team. They just don't have a lot of experience at this level of racing. You know, he was so dominant in the legend cars and in the trucks, and this is just really a top level, and I know he'll get it. It's just going to take them some time. You know, like I was telling him the other day, when I went racing in the Remax series back in the day, I mean, I race if Steve Carlson lapped me 2 or 3 times only, you know. So I mean, it's just when you get to that top level in the Midwest, you can just expect to get your butt kicked for some amount of time.
Dan, we appreciate you spending some time with us out of your busy schedule. Got to get that car done. Got to get down to Oktoberfest because you got some checkered flags to take back to Lakeville, Minnesota there. And again, we appreciate your time. All the fans can watch you, not only in person, but on MidwestTour.tv. Thank you again for spending some time with us.
I'm not letting you kick me off the show until I brag about my kids a little bit.
Okay.
I've been spending a lot of time racing around with my son Ty and my daughter Harper, but he's 13 now, and he's really showing a lot of promise.
You got him
he's
in a
got the
legend
quarter
car.
midget series stuff pretty well licked. Got him a legend car this year. He's had some really good races there. He was actually leading at Elko last week, and kind of a bumper tag deal on a restart actually broke the bumper on that car, and it was dragging, so he had to pull off. But if you know anything about legend cars, you can scare the bumper off them just by yelling at them. So you know, that was a bummer. We thought he was going to have a shot at winning that, but we've tested him in a late model. He's really good in that. And so a lot of my focus this summer has been on Ty and my other kids and their passions too. But it's a lot of fun. I would say, as far as driving myself, I'll probably always race Oktoberfest. I'll probably always go to Madison, but and the Dells has done an awesome job too. I'll probably always run a couple at the Dells, but other than that, I'll be taking a back seat to my son pretty soon.
A lot of great things going on for you, Dan. I know even working with Buddy Kofoid last year, the open wheel star, it really I opened my eyes to the fact that you're able to adapt. A lot of drivers are saying, this is what I want to do, and when I'm not doing it, I don't want to do it with anybody else. I mean, that really says a lot about how much you're putting this into perspective, and we can't wait to see you at Oktoberfest weekend, putting the gas pedal down like we know you can do really well there.
I'll be shooting for I want to be the guy with the worst fuel mileage. I want to burn the most gas. That's the plan.
Can we kick you off yet?
I'm done. I'm going to eat. You guys are making me late for dinner.
Thanks, Danny. Appreciate it. Thank you, Stephanie, as well,
Thanks,
for
guys.
patiently waiting for us. Thanks.
Yep.
See ya.
Take it easy. Bye.
Dan Fredrickson was in last year's Oktoberfest 200 race. We had it live on MidwestTour.tv. You can subscribe right now and get every lap of the action all weekend long and see replays. Well, what do we say? Should we show you one? We have race highlights from last year's Oktoberfest 200 at La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway here on Midwest Tour Talk. Take a look.
For the Oktoberfest 200, here it is, 4 wide at Oktoberfest. Oh, man. Love it. Luke Fenhouse looking for starter Tom White's green flag, and we're racing at Oktoberfest. Cleanly down into turn 1 and 2. Luke Fenhouse will take the early advantage. Johnny Sauter slots in to the second spot. They're side by side beside him. While that was going on up front, I was keeping one eye on the tail end of the field. The number 91, Ty Majeski, there he is right there on your screens, sporting the iRacing colors. He was taking the ultimate challenge, had to start at the back of the field to try to win an extra 15 plus grand, and he had a close moment early on going around the number 43 machine. Majeski has worked his way up into the 24th position, but he was going around the 43 of Cody Vanderwall and got a little bit sideways as the car started checking up right in front of Ty Majeski. No harm, no foul, but it certainly was a tighter moment than Ty Majeski would want here on lap number 7.
Yeah, 0.3 of a second. I don't know how you can even start to stop a stopwatch in that amount of time. Johnny Sauter the inside off of turn 4 for the lead. Sauter to the bottom. Fenhouse pulled wide in turn 2. Gave Johnny a chance to look on the inside, and Sauter takes over. New leader, Johnny Sauter in the Oktoberfest 200, as well as the 91 of Ty Majeski.
The 35 car right in front of them, Carson Kvapil, also what is called a Toby car. So Carson Kvapil, Ty Majeski has now gotten around Justin Mondyke, but those Toby drivers all bunched tightly on the racetrack here. Dan Fredrickson, while we were talking about Majeski, has worked his way up into the second position, has gotten around Casey Johnson and Luke Fenhouse. Fredrickson, the 4-time Oktoberfest winner, trying to reel in Johnny Sauter. They're going to race off at turn number 4. There we have it, Casey Johnson in their footprints. But Johnny Sauter, with a great run on the high side, will hold the lead.
So Sauter said he likes the outside line. He knows he can race there, but Fredrickson's been so strong early here. How long can Johnny stay on the outside? How long can he put up with the idea that Fredrickson's going to keep him even lap after lap? That's going to wear Sauter's tires more than the 36 of Fredrickson. Fredrickson with a charge and a slide off a turn 4. Gets the clear advantage by inches to take the lead. On lap 33, he pushed the limit to Johnny Sauter in the red number 5. Don's Auto Truck Center push it a little too hard. We see Casey Johnson, that black number 5, running to the inside. So Johnny on those outside runs, maybe a 5 or 10 degree temperature build in the rights. That's enough for Casey Johnson to get grip on the bottom and make the pass for second.
Fredrickson is your race leader in the number 36 machine. Coming up on a big group of traffic on the tail end of the lead lap. So to give you an idea, that is Jeff Storm just went a lap down in the 23rd position. Austin Nason goes 22nd. Yellow is out. And Jim, we talked about it. We are in that window, and this is that competition caution, the first that we will see here today. Dan Fredrickson laying back now on the hammer off at turn number 4. Green flag is back out. We are underway once again here in the Oktoberfest 200. That, Jim, is the best passing spot on this track, off at turn number 4, as Casey Johnson finishes the pass up in turn number 1. They are stacking up now behind Fredrickson, as here comes Ty Majeski and Luke Fenhouse. So the handle has gone away on the 36 machine. Fredrickson, next opportunity that he gets, I imagine they'll be coming down pit lane and making adjustments on that 36, because as strong as he was early, he is going backwards now. He has had a mireful.
So everything played to plan for him, as you pointed out, Dave. We have a caution on the racetrack. Trouble in turn number 4. Dan Fredrickson involved. Jeff Storm involved. Heavy damage on Fredrickson's number 36.
Oh.
That's Levon Vandergeest, I believe, in the green and white, number 23, the rookie driver.
And Fredrickson is going to go straight back to the hauler. There it is, the black number 5, Casey Johnson. We have a pair of 5s up front. That white number 5, Travis Sauter. We are about to have a fierce battle for the lead. They're up in turn number 1. Casey Johnson works to the outside of Dylan Hammond. Dylan Hammond, a couple of laps down to the leaders, dropping through the field. In fact, he's off at turn number 4 right now. Ryan Farrell looks to the inside. Farrell is a couple of laps down, and he's going by Majeski. So the 91 of Majeski is just hanging on, waiting for that caution, that competition caution to come. It's not going to play well right now up the back straightaway, and Casey Johnson closes in on the rear bumper of the 91. Majeski is sideways. Oh my! Majeski hangs on. Casey Johnson goes by. He has got a handful, does Ty Majeski. As the yellow flies, and unofficially it looks like Ty Majeski is that first car not on the lead lap. This, Jim, this is going to be a crazy final 50 laps.
In the ARCA Midwest Tour in 2021 comes down to this. Casey Johnson in the number 5 came in this point in the series 8th in points. It's not about that. It's about winning his first Oktoberfest 200 along with other part-timer Travis Sutter is outside on the restart.
Green is back out, and Casey Johnson gets a great jump down into turn number 1. Keeping an eye on Ty Majeski there in that black 91. You talk about 3 wide, Jim, on the front straightaway. There it is.
Ty Majeski told me the inside is where he can make some time up on the inside of turn number 1. Look for him to go low. He said, I can set my car just where I want to make some passes. 3 wide again for Majeski. In desperation, flying through the field here.
The start-finish line down into turn number 1. He is a good straightaway, the back straightaway behind race leader Casey Johnson. Majeski will be scored officially in the 11th position.
Past the number 77 with Jonathan Island for 10th. Jeff Storm is the next target ahead. The number 25, that car is in 9th. Here comes Majeski. Sauter has dropped back because the outside clogged up on him 3 consecutive laps. He's lost the run with Majeski. Outside-inside dance is over.
Had to start at the tail end of the field because he was the lucky dog recipient, and now he is knocking at the back door of Luke Fenhaus.
Luke, I love your car. I love how you race me clean all year. This is the championship racing contenders. In coming to this race, Ty Majeski was leading Luke Fenhaus in the standings. By what he did this weekend in qualifying points and dash points, Majeski all but assured himself a championship by taking the green flag today. Casey Johnson, one more look down the backstretch, nothing ahead. A lap car behind between he and the white number 5 of Travis Sutter. Is that what you're trying to say?
Ty Majeski had a great run there. That car turned right in the middle of the corner and rocketed off at turn number 2. So move Ty Majeski up into the 4th position.
Hard to watch a scoreboard and all the things that are going on here at this racetrack. We're still clicking off 105 mile per hour down the straightaway speed. This late in the going, we're flying around this racetrack, and there goes Ty Majeski underneath Travis Sauter.
30 years of age, multi-time champion at the Jefferson Speedway, and looking to put win number 2 in the books, and his first October. Dalton Zier sideways off at 2.
Coming to the checkered flag, though. Coming to the checkered flag. The driver of the black number 5, Casey Johnson, the 32nd winner of the Oktoberfest 200 in the 52nd running on Oktoberfest weekend at La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway.
We'll salute him now. We'll talk to him later. Your Oktoberfest champion, Casey Johnson.
Here we are on Midwest Tour Talk, previewing the huge Oktoberfest race weekend. I'm Jim Trado, Dean Strom as well. We'll be on the call on Sunday, the Oktoberfest race weekend. Actually, we'll have coverage for you every day when qualifying begins, starting Thursday, Friday, Saturday, on into Sunday morning, and through the entire race weekend. By subscribing to MidwestTour.tv, you get every lap of the action. And, Dean, I can't tell you how excited I am to have our next guest on because he does a lot of winning in the upper Midwest, and we're glad to have him on Midwest Tour Talk tonight.
The Saturday of Oktoberfest race weekend, the Big 8 Series is going to headline, and we are joined by a 2-time Big 8 Series champion. They call him Driver X, John Reynolds Jr. John, welcome to Midwest Tour Talk.
Thanks for having me, guys.
When I said, hey, can you be on with us, I think I hit, can you be on? And you answered yes. I imagine you're a little bit excited about Oktoberfest and your chances to race there again.
I can't wait to get back there. I love racing there. One of these years we're going to win, that's for sure.
Now, I know in your 2 championship years, you may have had to race differently. Was that the case more often than not at Oktoberfest? Racing for a championship, including this year, you've got a chance to maybe get the 3rd or 2nd in points. I looked at the point standings. You can tell me otherwise. Can you win your 3rd championship at lacrosse?
I think so. I think so. As well as we ran at Milwaukee a month ago. That same package will go to the lacrosse fairgrounds for Oktoberfest. So pretty excited about that. I think we can be pretty competitive.
You're going to race in front of a huge crowd on Saturday night under the lights at Oktoberfest. Everybody's having fun. It's a racers family reunion. How cool is that to headline the Big 8 Series Saturday night of Fest in front of that huge crowd?
It's a lot of fun for sure. Everybody's so excited. Everybody's in the racing with the race car, in family of racing that goes there for that weekend. So the 50-50 is like $4,000 on Saturday night. It's crowded, noisy, great night for racing.
And John, I know it's part of the fun for you. I would think is I see you and others on occasion when you're not racing at Lacrosse Oktoberfest, you guys love to watch the races, and you guys get to kibitz with all sorts of different drivers standing at the back row of the grandstands. It's amazing to see. I think I saw you standing next to somebody. I'm like, why aren't they talking? You guys don't get to race each other, but you get to hang out together at these kind of places. That's kind of cool.
That's so cool to walk in the gate there up at the top, and this guy races, that guy races. How'd you do last night? You ready for tomorrow? Things like that. How'd you practice today? It's a lot of fun.
You got a lot of hits on social media here recently. You have a new friend, a rock and roll Hall of Famer, Rick Nielsen from Cheap Trick. Tell us about how that came about and why you're hanging out with him.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. He's part of this Rock and Vodka deal that's sponsoring us this weekend at Short Track. Hopefully, we keep that connection and do some more with Rick and the guys for next year. So we'll get through this weekend and have a good run. And I got a guitar pick he gave me in my pocket for good luck. He told me not to get too good at playing guitar or he'd be out of a job. But I think he'll be okay.
Well, I saw him over the summer at Summerfest. Cheap Trick was opening up, and he brought out that big guitar. He can still play the guitar, so you better hone your guitar picking skills.
John Reynolds Jr. joining us here on Midwest Tour Talk, and I want to get back to the racetrack because I know you're working tonight in the shop still. How much preparation goes in to what will be the final race of your season at Lacrosse Oktoberfest at one of the bigger tracks you get to run on all year?
Yeah, it's a lot. We got to get through Short Track with the fenders on it. If we do, then we can concentrate on setup stuff. But first Monday will be getting the car cleaned up and getting the gears changed and tires changed. And then we'll get into setup stuff Tuesday and hopefully get loaded up and get up there Wednesday. It'd be the perfect deal to get some practice. And we really want to be ready and run good.
With as much experience you have there, John, do you need a lot of laps, or what do you do when you're not on the racetrack, and how many laps would you end up running? I'm just kind of getting the mindset now of your approach going into the weekend.
I really don't need a lot of laps. I mean, we got a package that's going to platform there pretty well. Really like to get there Wednesday night because it's the only time you get to practice at night when we race at night on Saturday. So really want to get there for that. And then just kind of watch the track Thursday and Friday as it changes through the rubbers building up and be ready Saturday morning with that kind of agenda to get your 2 practice sessions in Saturday morning and qualify.
We've had a great time this year showing the Big 8 Late Model Series on MidwestTour.tv as an added attraction, if you will. It's fun to follow how things are going, and it's great to see how you're racing with Jerry Miller and Dale Nottestad and this rookie William Reese. I mean, you guys are going after it. It's kind of fun to watch it. What's been the reaction now that you're getting maybe a little more exposure than you had in the past with the Big 8 Late Model Series?
It's been a lot of fun. A lot of people are talking about, the Dells days later. Hey, watched your race. That was really cool. It was a good race. And, the coverage was great. They knew everything that was going on, during the race. So it's been a lot of fun getting that feedback. But, if you can get to the races, that's the best thing too, because the racing's really been fun, like you said, with Jeremy Miller and Casey Johnson and Dale Nottestad racing them. Guys like that, Mike Bilderback. I mean, they're pretty good drivers, I'd say.
Well, we've been telling the fans that, John, that's where we want them. We want their butts in the seats at the racetrack. But if they can't make it, they can watch it on Midwest Tour TV. Maybe they got to work. Maybe they have some family obligations. Maybe they're halfway across the country. They can catch all the action on Midwest Tour MidwestTour.tv. And maybe at Oktoberfest race weekend, they're going to see you stand on the door and put your arms in that X fashion like you do after every victory.
Hey, John, thanks for joining us
Hopefully
tonight,
we can get
man.
a win there, and that'll help us in the points. We're still trying to maybe win that championship. We'll chase them. We'll chase them hard.
All right, I got one more question on that note. I thought we'd say thanks and see you, but I got to ask you, will you be able to race for the win on kill, and will it be the first or second time you get to do that because you may have been in protect mode in the past or watching one or two cars? Now you have to go out and beat them all.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if we think we're going to try to win a championship, the only way to do it is to win the race. So that's the plan. Until.
We wish you well, John, and we're going to look forward to watching you in person and on MidwestTour.tv. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Hey, thanks, guys. You're doing a great job. Keep it up.
He's got the trophies behind him. He's got the pictures of his Rockford Speedway Championships, a four-time champion there, heading to Oktoberfest weekend. If you're not already packed and your camper's not in line at noon on Monday, you got to do something here. If you're not, okay, if you're watching this on Thursday or Friday, you get to see Driver X race on Saturday. He's going to practice, qualify, and race on Saturday with the Big 8 Series, and he's going to take a lot of notes. He's going to talk to a lot of friends, and this is a great networking opportunity for drivers just to find out what they want, maybe see what they're missing in the equipment. Hey, what's that new shock package doing? I mean, this is a great way to kind of get all that in. So if you don't have a pit pass, we got the second best seat in the house for you. Or if you don't have a ticket in the grandstand, MidwestTour.tv is where you want to find it. And, Dean, we're going to kick it off every day, starting Thursday, October 6th, on through the weekend. Every day when qualifying begins, that's when you get to see the action from start to finish. That point on for the entire evening is part of your package on MidwestTour.tv.
I'm looking forward to it. I hope that we have given you a little taste of how special this Oktoberfest race weekend is, what it means to the drivers, how much racing you're going to get to see right here on MidwestTour.tv. If you haven't done so already, I would encourage you, log on there. Beat the rush. Don't wait till Sunday afternoon. Check in on Thursday. Check in on Friday. MidwestTour.tv. You're going to get signed up to see all the action that is 4 days of excitement at La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway.
And you get to watch replays. You get to watch that while the snow's flying and you're getting out there pushing that snow shovel around. You get to watch this race in replay fashion as a subscriber to MidwestTour.tv. Thank our guests tonight. We want to thank Greg McCarnes. We want to thank Dan Fredrickson. We want to thank John Reynolds, Driver X. And we want to thank you for joining us. And hopefully you can share this, spread this around, and make sure other people are aware of how cool it is to be part of this MidwestTour.tv coverage of a huge Oktoberfest race weekend. Find out more about the event itself at OktoberfestRaceWeekend.com. And we can't wait to see you at the racetrack. Say hi to us. Come on up and say hello. We got a great crew. Looking forward to putting on some great racing coverage for you October 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. Thanks for joining us. See you soon.